Sometimes you just want to take a break from the fighting, the comedy, the harems, and just chase the heartwarming and fuzzy feelings inside. Don't be shy, it's guilt-free, and in the world of anime, it's really something else. Some of the greatest anime series out there are actually romance, funnily enough. Although the big names are action and epic journeys, anime romance can really feel intimate and appeal to more fans than you'd think. Thanks for joining us today on Animeology, where we run through some of the greatest romance animes of all time. Number 10. Toradora. Toradora doesn't waste our time at all. There's no beating around the bush with a will they, won't they. This slice-of-life romance series throws us straight into the estranged romance between its main characters. A bit on the lighter side, following the day-to-day misadventures of our two young lovers, Taigia and Ryuji. As they enter middle school, we follow these classmates as they try to navigate the scary world of school, worried about how they look and how cool they are and, of course, the love of their lives. What makes Toradora quite an interesting watch is the effortless harem. Our hero, Ryuji, is faced with 3 brilliant waifus, nothing forced or unnatural. The series doesn't get too ahead of itself with unrealistic conversations or situations. Toradora will definitely stand the test of time and be looked back on as one of the greatest romance series to ever be created, one that you have to watch. Number 9. Nana. Now, this is one of the more unique series you will come across. Music in anime doesn't often stand out, but when it does, it's truly iconic. We're not talking epic intro theme songs. Nana has a very clear-cut and focused use of music. It's actually integral to the story and honestly makes the romance shine brighter than you can imagine. We follow 2 vastly different characters called Nana. One, a small-town girl following her boyfriend and college friends into Tokyo, hoping to live her dream life. And the other, a punk rocker headed to Tokyo in hopes of making it big. The 2 girls meet on a train and decide to become roommates. Getting a close look at the friendship blossoming and developing, we get a chance to get a very raw and unflinching view of the Nanas. A Type A and Type B, the cute and loving Nana and the punk rocker Nana, bringing with them a pile of interesting history and baggage, but still hopeful for the future. We could not look away, eager to see whether the Nanas would ever find love or realize their dreams. Number 8. Special A. Romance and comedy are hard to balance for sure. You don't want to tip too heavily into the laughs for fear of your romance getting overshadowed. But that light-hearted comedy of errors is what makes Special A such a phenomenal watch. Special A shows us the extremely special and long-standing relationship between Hikari and Ki. From the young age of 6, these 2 have been nearly inseparable. The cute first meeting when Hikari was defeated by Ki in a playful wrestling match and vowed that she would always be better than him. This spawned a fierce competition where she never let up and let Ki best her. Competing in every aspect from school to sporting events, we see Hikari as number 1. Now in an ultra-elite school for the wealthy, we follow Hikari and Ki as they slowly start to flesh out and develop the romantic aspects of their relationship in an extremely touching and tastefully well-done comedy. Complementing this brilliant romance is a cast of really unique and colourful side characters. Both Ki and Hiraki's friends are different from what you're used to. We found ourselves as involved in the side arcs as we were in the main romance. Number 7. Kids on the Slope. Many romance animes like to focus on an immortal struggle of love. Kids on the Slope really focuses on the high school setting and the extremely important teenage years where looking for love is important, but learning about yourself is just as much so. Through a series of short events, we meet Kaoru, an extremely intelligent but really quiet high schooler from an extremely wealthy family. Constantly moving about to different cities due to his father's career, Kaoru was never able to sustain any lasting friendships. Moving to a new school, he meets the school bad boy that shows him the glory of jazz and introduces him to Ritsuko, a female lead that we've also found ourselves falling in love with. Kids on the Slopes takes us through the slow burn through 3 years of high school, brilliantly developing the relationship between the three leads. Number 6. Kimi ni Todoki. What makes Kimi ni Todoki such an engaging series is the sheer lifeline that the romance provides. Hokido is a 15-year-old girl that has constantly been bullied throughout high school. The way she looks scares her classmates, and she is constantly feared and misunderstood. Bullying is one thing, but imagine going to school and people are legitimately scared of you, for no good reason. With no friends to keep her company, you really can't help feel bad for Hokido and the horrible situation she's in. Despite her appearance, she is actually a really sweet and helpful girl that has long given up on the hopes of making friends. One day, Kizaya, a popular boy at school, starts talking to her, and Hokkaido's whole world drastically changes. Meeting new people, making new friends, getting invited out, slowly we start to see a very heartfelt and touching romance develop between the two MCs, as we start to see the two young lovers overcome some pretty emotionally heavy situations. Number 5. Clannad. We should start off by saying that Clannad is actually a really great visual novel. The setting, the themes, the characters, and the decision-making really made this one of the greatest that we've ever played. However, the anime series doesn't give you the freedom to choose, but definitely makes some wise and unique choices that guarantee you should watch it. We follow Tomoya Okazakai from a young age through to adulthood. A normal high schooler, 5 girls enter his life, each bringing with them some extremely unique and interesting issues, all feeling very realistic and relatable. The brilliance of the issues faced by all these girls in Tomoya's life is that they are surprisingly mature and extremely timeless. These are questions and issues that everyone will eventually ask, and how our MC deals with these are truly something else. The drama and romance throughout the series are carried heavily through its extremely complex and intricate dialogue. This isn't a series of loud shouting and screaming. Clannad really revels in the subtle art of conversation as we start to slowly grow fond of all 5 of these women. Number 4. Fruit Basket.
ゆきくん、今すごい音したけど、もしかして今日来た？
ごめんなさい、大丈夫ですか？
Now, to introduce supernatural elements into a romance story really makes the relationship seem epic on a whole other level. Fruit Baskets really takes this to another level through the eyes of Toru, a young orphan girl that learns the truth behind her existence. After her mother dies in a horrific car accident, Toru lives with her grandmother. Things get worse, and after being rescued from living in a tent, she goes to live with one of her popular classmates, Yuki, in his huge mansion. We learn that his family is possessed by the animals of the Chinese zodiac, cursed to shapeshift into animal forms. The struggle and difficulty of living with such a curse, and Toru's attempt to heal and help this family. The sort of emotional and mental support that Toru offers this family is truly unrivaled. We see not only a romance develop between Yuki and Toru, but an intimate relationship develops between all the members of the family. A really brilliant and heartfelt watch that offers a uniquely compelling twist into the romance genre. Number 3. Chobits. Now, sci-fi and romance might sound like a strange one, but Chobits uses the science fiction filter in a very original and oddly interesting way. Introducing relatable characters in a strange and foreign setting, Chobits will go down as one of the greatest romance series of all time. Following Hidekai, a failing student at high school, desperate to pass and attend university. Hidekai has literally nothing going for him. Poor academic performance, not many friends, not even a girlfriend. But Hidekai doesn't want a girlfriend. He'd much rather have a Persocom, an android personal computer. One day he stumbles across a beautiful Persocom girl lying in the trash. After fixing her, she instantly holds Hidekai in the highest light, adoring him in every way. Chobits follows the intimate story of Hidekai and his new personal android as he teaches this beautiful girl about life. Asking some heavy and serious questions, the love between a human and a robot? The purpose of existence. Chobits really stands to explore some very interesting and unique concepts that you will never see anywhere else. Truly a fantastic watch. Number 2. Your Lie in April. Although romance and comedy are a classic combination, romance and drama are definitely a lot more challenging to pull off. Your Lie in April tells the story of a young pianist, Kosai, who loses his ability to hear the piano after the death of his mother. Famous as a child musician, this heavy loss of his mother sent Kosai into a downward spiral of depression. 2 years pass and the young pianist has lost all flavour and colour for life, until one day a girl enters his life and changes everything. A young violinist with a flair for life, her wild and erratic violin playing mimics her carefree attitude and excitement for life, slowly helping and shaping Kosai, guiding him back into the musical world and teaching him there are more ways to love music than the ones he was used to. Kosai can't help but develop feelings for his saviour. We won't say any more for fear of spoiling the story. A very clear-cut plot that has one of the most brilliant endings we've ever seen in an anime, let alone a romance anime. You really should be checking this one out. And number 1, Tonari no Kaibutsukun.
俺雫が好きかも。
それは友達的な意味で。
性的な意味で。
ちょっと待って。
A brilliant series that made huge waves across its initial run and still remains fresh in our minds since the first day we saw it. My Little Monster really reminds us why we love romance animes and why we can't help but keep coming back for more. Focusing on Shizuku, a hard-working and extremely studious student with a clear vision of her future and no time whatsoever for boys and friends. And Haru, her classmate, that barely even shows up for class. One day, Shizuku is tasked with delivering Haru's homework to his house. A beautiful and pristine relationship blossoms from there. Starting off as a close-knit and tight friendship, Haru is an innocent and simple boy with no bad bone in his body. Shizuku can't help but be drawn to him. A really beautiful and touching story about two very different individuals being extremely open and intimate with each other. There's no fantasy, supernatural ability, sci-fi or interesting twist. Just a well-written and extremely engaging romance that embodies everything great about a romance anime.